Hi, and good evening, and welcome to the Whole Division podcast. I am your host and first lady, Chitty Chids, Chitty Bang Bang, Becky. I get called loads. But you know what? If you really know me, then you know, innit? But yes. So, in honor of Men's Mental Health Month, I decided to sit with a man that I admire, somebody who's a dear friend of mine. He's a father, he's a tattooist. Do you know what I mean? He just puts good energy out there. And overall, you're a very, very good person, Ant. So, yeah, let me just introduce yourself,
Uh,
Ant. Introduce yourself.
I think you covered it, but yeah, I am obviously father of three, two girls, one boy. Tattooist, been tattooing for 16 years. Just come out of a relationship. Didn't want to come out of like I fucked up. You get me? I fucked that up, and then obviously it haven't been managed to get fixed. So hence why we're doing this because obviously it's had an effect on my mental health. Yeah, I'm kind of like I think you nailed it with like who I actually am.
Yeah.
Big like I'm a bit of a nerd. Like I'm into like obviously like Marvel and DC and like WWE and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just me. Like
You know, one thing I gotta say though is the rawness and the honesty for me. I love that and I can respect it. And do you know what? You're the first person, because obviously I've been doing these podcasts since 2020, and you're probably the first eligible person. You're not the first person from where I'm from, Wales, that I've done a podcast with, yet to do a live with, but you're the first person that's actually worthy and actually genuine. And there's no, do you get me? What you see is what you get with Anthony, and that's one thing that I would love to put out there. You know me, speak as I find. We've known each other since we were kids. And
yeah,
yeah, man, he's a good guy. You're definitely a good guy. And and it was mad because I woke up this morning and I had like that light bulb moment. And I thought, do you know what, men's mental health? Let's talk to Anthony. Gives you a chance to sort of get some things off your chest and just give people like insight in what mental health means to you coming from a man. Do you know what I'm saying? Your dog's lush.
yeah. He is sick. I'm trying to cheer this man. It's just not fucking. He's licking and all sorts of shit.
He's living life. So yeah, so how I structure this, I usually do like obviously different topics. So our first topic is the struggles of a man. And yeah, talk to me. Talk to me
Um,
about some of the struggles that you face as a man.
I think there's a gender bias. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
Men were demonized. Like men can't do certain things. Men can't shout. Men can't show that they hurt. Like show emotion.
Mm.
Um,
True.
like if your emotion comes out in the wrong way, you're abusive. You're aggressive. Like do you get me? You're an
Yeah,
abuser.
yeah,
Um, and that's something I've experienced personally over the
yeah,
years because like I'm a very passionate person, and when I love hard. Do you get me? And like if I tell you I love you, you best believe I love you to my core.
yeah.
And like obviously, like we said, we spoke about my situation and like that part of what's going on. It's like there's a fucking hole there because that part of me is obviously hurting.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
like not because like I said then like I've been aggressive or I've like been what's deemed abusive, but I've been reactionary to the
Okay.
situation.
Yeah, but
And
I think as human beings, we
yeah,
are reactive.
so
We
like,
are
I think
reactive.
with men, you're kind of always tiptoeing. A lot,
Yeah.
like, do you get me? To like, people say to me all the time, "Oh, you're gonna get cancelled because you say this, you say that." I don't give a fuck. Hurry the fuck up. Hurry the fuck up.
I love that.
But yeah, being a man, it's you're held to a different standard. And like, there's a Chris Rock stand up, and he says, "Men are only loved conditionally. It's only children and dogs that are loved unconditionally. Men are
Cool.
loved on the condition you provide." Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay, that's a
It's like
deep
you have
one.
to be able to, pay the rent. You have to be able to provide for your woman, your kids, your this, your that. So, like, obviously, the men, caveman times, hunter gatherers.
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, and
yeah,
even though the world has evolved, like, do you get me? That fucking gender role hasn't evolved. You have to be like, and if you look all over things like TikTok,
yeah,
how many women are putting up lists? Men need to be able to fucking have this fucking six-figure salary, or they need to be this tall. They need to be this type of person to meet my standard. When that particular girl could be ran through.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
She
so
should have.
true.
She could
Yeah.
have like a Dulux paint jar of kids.
I'm so done. Not the Dulux paint art of kids.
Do you get me?
And
Like
oh my God, I
Braden,
have not
Jaden.
heard that
Okay, then
before.
what the fuck then? But that's what I
Yeah,
mean. Like the
Caden, Caden.
societal standard for men and women. If a
Yeah.
woman is, promiscuous, let's use that word because I won't use the other word.
Okay.
Like she's empowered. She's fucking. You know, she's being strong. She's this. If a man is running through like women, oh well, he's a dickhead. He's a this. He's a that. He's a fuck boy.
Yeah, he's not
Like don't
a good
get
man.
me
He's
wrong.
not.
I'm not that guy. Like okay. For 5 years I was single. Then I got in a relationship and I was the happiest I've ever been. And like I said, I fucked up. I
Okay.
I made a mistake,
Do you
which
want to
then
what in like this is what I mean. So in terms of like making mistakes, without going into your personal situation too much, what mistakes can you make? Because like I know from your situation, you were in a place where you were fear setting and you were afraid and you needed to speak to somebody else.
yeah,
So what are the things that are deemed as a mistake? Like what mistakes did you make?
like like I messaged someone while I was in a relationship
Okay.
about my situation, and obviously shared my fears that I probably could have shared with my partner, but I was too scared. There you go. As a man,
Yeah.
I was scared to show the vulnerability to my partner who saw me as strong, saw me as her man, like the guy who protects her.
Yeah.
Do you get me? So like
Yeah.
to me, I was in my head about it, and basically I basically fucking put myself down that she wouldn't want me because of my situation, and then obviously it spiraled into what obviously we've talked about.
Yeah.
So basically, I like my mental health suffered because of all the other situations that I was in. Even though I'm the happiest I've ever been, and like deeply in love with a girl, I let my intrusive thoughts get the better of me.
And do you think it's a thing where this is where men feel like they can't speak up, they can't speak to other people? You get
100%.
because it's kind of you're kind of seen as weak if you do, or if you do break down or
Yeah,
whatever. Is that
it's
how it
used
felt for
against you.
you?
Yeah, it's definitely used against you. Like I got lucky. Obviously, I got yourself.
Yeah,
Like, there's a few people in this live now watching who've been there through all this shit and who've like looked out for me and looked after me.
yeah,
And I've had them to talk to, and
yeah,
they're letting me like even now when things are bothering me, they're still letting me vent. They're still letting me talk about it, and they're hearing me, and they're not giving. Do you know, like you will talk to someone
yeah.
and they'll give their opinion based on how they feel about the situation without knowing the context. Whereas
Okay,
yourself and all these people are saying, listen, we understand how you're feeling because of how you feel. Like, we're not telling you how to feel. And this is the thing that
yeah,
pisses me off. When you speak to certain people, they'll try and tell you how to feel.
yeah,
But they weren't doing that. And they're supportive and they're still supportive right now.
yeah. And this is
Well,
why I
I
think
still
it's
do not. You get what I'm
important.
saying? And I
Yeah,
think
it's
that's what it is.
important
You've
to have
got
them.
to find, like someone said to me, you've got to find your people.
Yeah,
And this time last year, I didn't have that. Whereas, like now, I have that. And like going into the start of this year,
yeah,
I was doing fucking um like a madness because I was like looking around and I had friends and I had the girl of my fucking dreams. Like, do you get me?
yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
how I fucking like I was buzzing. Like my daughter's on here now. She'll tell you like she probably never seen her dad smile as much away from her. Like my little
yeah,
girl, like she's not a little girl. She's 14, nearly 15.
yeah.
She's like a fucking grown ass woman. She bullies me. Like she tells me what to do. But
Very strong young lady.
yeah, she like obviously she was like, I want my dad to be happy. So do you get me? I had to get the okay from her for this, and she was buzzing. So like,
Yeah,
and it was literally just because things were spiraling, and I couldn't deal with the situation. I was trying to like, I went to default settings where it's like, oh, I'm used to dealing with things on my own, so I'm gonna do
okay.
that, and I fucked up, and now obviously the situation has played out, and it's just gonna take time to fucking resolve it.
Yeah, no, of course. We've got a comment from Riley's mummy. She
Yeah,
says, I don't see you speaking openly to a friend is a mistake, though. Yes, you should speak to your partner, but if you can't speak to your partner openly, I see that as a sign. And that's another thing. This is why I think it's very, for me personally, I think it's very important for men to have like people that they can speak to. But if you can't speak to your partner because all these expectations, the expectations of being a man, being strong, being a provider, never kind of breaking down those things. If you're afraid of those things when it comes to speaking to your partner, then it's telling you something, isn't it? Is it telling you something? Is it something you've got to
No,
work on
it
from within
yeah,
yourself,
it was
or
definitely something like because obviously afterwards we were trying to sort things out,
yeah,
and when I explained the situation to her, she did say, "I wish you would have come to me with it." Do you get
okay,
me? Like and things like
okay,
that, and it was like, yeah, it was stupid of me. It was just basically me in my head, and like maybe I should have phoned you or like, but it was just me like almost wanting someone to tell me stop being a fucking dick. Do you
yeah,
get me? Like that's not
yeah.
gonna happen, and like unfortunately, it played out the way I fucking expected it to be.
Riley
Yeah.
says you should be able to be raw and vulnerable with
Well,
your
this is the
partner.
thing. Like I was authentically me with her. Like
Okay,
obviously, I trusted her with things only you know,
yeah,
like my close friends know.
yeah.
And also like obviously I brought it into my kids' lives. Like obviously that's a
That's
massive
a
fucking flex.
massive thing.
Like
It's a
that's what I mean.
massive
Like I
thing.
trusted her with my daughter.
Yeah.
So she saw every side of me. Like she saw me get upset. Do you get me? She's seen me, um, like at my most vulnerable. But it was just a case of I couldn't figure out the words to say to her without making her feel like I thought if I open my mouth now and I say it wrong, she's gonna feel like I'm attacking her.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I didn't want that because to me, I'm like, I'm not losing this girl because I've said something stupid to her or I've made her feel a type of way. So I said it to someone else, and like she found out, like she found out about it, and like she took
so
it in the wrong
she
way.
took it as, yeah, she took it as a betrayal, and this is
Yeah,
what I mean. It's like sometimes, and I think this is where women do have insecurities, just because a man speaks to another woman, it's not always like sexual, and it's not always, it's just to reach out and to have that like sort of feminine insight. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like to speak to another woman. Sometimes you can't speak to your partner about certain things, and that's just the way it is. And I think that's where women do kind of need to take a step back and just say, if you're secure in your relationship and you're confident within yourself, yeah, what a man chooses to do, what a man or a woman chooses to do, that's on them, isn't it? But if it's a thing where your partner is in a bad place and he chooses to speak to somebody else, I think that's where ego comes in as well, because feelings get hurt. Because it's like, how are you speaking to another person about it when you could just come and speak to me? But it's not always that easy. Before we touch on that, I'm just going to read one of these comments. So, Chloe Lauren, big up yourself, and welcome to everybody who's joined so far. Thank you for joining. She says it's harder to speak to some people through those sometimes due to the way they are and have their walls up at the same time. I fully agree. Fully agree.
yeah. Well, this is the thing. Like, and the problem with the situation is someone she thought I was interested
Mm.
in like a romantic way. Like basically, me being me.
Oh God.
Um, like I know the obviously I've known her for a while,
Yeah.
so like we was messaging like on a friendly level. But when obviously I was speaking to my ex, there was nothing between me and this girl. Like, do you get me?
Yeah.
She was like, she didn't understand why I won't winnow it, and I was like, oh well, I don't know if this girl's interested in me, sort of thing. It was me being a dick, sending a screenshot of the message to try and make her jealous. So
Okay.
she thought this girl had an interest in me. So when I'm speaking to her, she thought I was like stepping. Do you get me? Stepping
Yeah.
up on her. And like now I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see her point of view. And at the same time, if I would have found out she's speaking to someone else about like insecurities in our relationship, I probably would have flipped out too.
Okay. But do you think this boils down to being able to kind of express your emotions and express how you're feeling?
Um, that's on me. Do you get me? I couldn't fucking like I was the night before, like obviously she found out about the messages. I was sat there, like she come home from work, she come home to mine from work, and it was fucking like same thing we always do. We just chill and cuddle. And I fucking everything in me, like there was so much going on in my head. I wanted to ask her so many different questions, not like grill her,
Yeah.
but like I wanted like to change our relationship status on fucking line. Like I went to ask her about like we had an event like we was going to plan and like things about that like and other things that I wanted to do and also try and talk to her about this, but like because she finished work late, like, and then she's so knackered, and I'm like, oh, do you get me? Like, is the time right? So I just didn't say fuck all, and then we went
Yeah.
to bed, and then obviously fucking she found the messages, and do you get me? Like she was upset to fuck, and like a dickhead, I like was like, oh, she went through my phone, not thinking, hang on a minute, bro. Like, yeah, she went through your phone. You gave your password for the start. Like, she had your password for three
So you
months. It makes no
had
difference.
nothing to hide.
Yeah, but I look at it now and it's like, okay, so I think in the night the message popped up on my lock screen again.
Okay.
So she's gone and had a look at it because it looks if a message pops up on your lock screen in the middle of the night, it's vacant.
Yeah.
Do you get me? I would have felt
Yeah.
the same type of way.
Okay.
And then I think when, like, obviously she got the chance, she looked at it, she's seen whatever, she got up. Like, the worst thing is she kissed me, said, love you, like she always did before she went to work.
Yeah.
And I just said something was wrong. Like, I always knew when something was, like, if
Yeah.
someone was
You know
bothering work.
when the vibe is different and the energy's off. You
Yeah.
know.
So obviously she's like, oh, like, going on about the messages. And like a dickhead, I reacted.
Okay.
Rather than said, I am sorry. Let's talk about it later. Like, obviously, we're both going to work now. Let's have a like. I reacted and I let time pass. Do you get me? And then obviously, the further and further they got along, I think like obviously we've ended up there.
Okay. I got a comment from Riley's Mummy. I love that username. That's so cute. She said, I think there's a difference between being annoyed and your partner speaking to someone else and using it as a get out. If the roles were reversed, would you be annoyed but talk it out or get out? Yeah, do you know what? That is an actual question. What would you do if it was the shoe was on the other foot and roles were reversed? What would you have done?
Obviously,
You seen your partner is going through something emotionally. She doesn't feel that she can talk to you about it. So she reaches out to another man and she speaks to him about it. What would you do?
I'm going to be pissed tonight. Do you get me? I'm going to be fucking livid, and it's going to make me feel like I'm not enough, which is how I
Okay.
think that she felt. And
Okay.
then at the same time, if she gets defensive over the phone, it looks even worse. Um, and like I've deep this, and we've had the conversation, and like I've replayed that whole week through my head, even like the conversation. Like I've still got every conversation on my
Yeah.
phone,
Yeah.
all the messages, and like the way, like and like Chloe, obviously she have seen us together. Fucking Kieran,
Yeah.
my peers, like one of my close friends, one of the guys, like I said, who've been there. Caleb is
Yeah.
in your. They've seen us together, and there's not one person. Like everyone who knows us is so surprised that this have happened. That we've got like,
Mm.
do you get me?
Okay.
Um, so like, she was hurt. Like, I even thought the same thing. Is she just trying to get out? And then when you deep it and you like replay it and you go through it, and it's like, nah, like I don't think she genuinely was. But at the same
Okay.
time, like we're where we are now, and like this is why we're deciding to do this because obviously the effect it's had on my mental health over the last fucking 2 months.
Yeah, because in message with you in relationships can be messy and it can get it can get too much. I got another question I kind of want to throw in there
One,
as we're talking on this subject, yeah. So in regards to like men's mental health and relationships, I'm gonna ask you the question, are women able to take accountability for their actions? What are your
in
thoughts
my
on
in my experience, no, no.
okay,
This is the like, one of the biggest problems we've had in resolving the situation is like I hold my hands up to fucking it, and there's a lot of people on this now like who have seen me like hold my hands up to everything
yeah,
on TikTok lives in person.
yeah,
But at the same time, she hasn't like even if her behavior is reactionary to what I've done,
yeah.
she still hasn't said, well, do you know what? Yeah, like whatever. And now obviously we know like obviously we know the situation because we've talked about it for a couple of days. So no, not like everything's like a blame game.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I
Chloe,
think,
there you go, Chloe. You're
yeah,
being straight up. I know you was
Chloe's
on my shit,
saying,
bro. At the end of the day, like, I never wanted to hurt her. I still don't want to hurt her. Like, and I'm gutted that I did. Do you get what I'm saying? But
I
now,
think, but
like,
it wasn't, I think when it's not intentional, you didn't intentionally go out of your way
no,
to hurt
I didn't.
her, but it's like, you know, I suppose sometimes the consequences of your own actions can cause hurt, and it can cause a little bit of, when the trust is not there, or you got to go over certain things. But I think this is where, as adults, this is where we need to sit down and have real conversations and actually really talk about it. Something that, bear with me, let me just go back to the comment. So Riley's mum says, it depends on the type of woman, I think. And yeah, I think it does, because like me as a woman, so we don't like to admit when we're wrong in it. We really don't. We don't like to admit it. I'll be real about that. But I think with time, growth, and elevation, and when you're trying to become a better version of yourself, you've got to come from a place of understanding, and you've got to be able to kind of acknowledge when you were wrong, or some of the things that you've done didn't help the situation. Yeah, you could be in a situation, it could be this one's fault, that one's fault, or whatever, but the end result is to resolve it, innit? So the conflict is not there. We're not chucking the blame out there. We're just taking accountability for our part that we've played in it. And I think when you've got one person who is taking accountability and then another person who's not, it's gonna be straight conflict from there.
Well,
It's going to be.
well, that's the problem we've had because it's like I'm, in a place where I want to resolve it, but like it's not going to get resolved now because obviously we know.
Yeah.
Um, like she just had like her walls went straight back up, and it was trust
Okay.
issues, and it was this, and it was like, how do I know you're not going to? And it's like you just gotta like give me that opportunity, and like obviously I can see like where she's coming from. At the same time, like I think a lot of us, if someone betrayed us in that way and made us feel like we're not enough,
Yeah.
it's going to be difficult to go back there. And obviously now it's fucked. Do you get me? And I got a different fucking battle in my hands. But
And how is it like how navigating relationships and stuff then? How does that take how is it taking a toll on your mental health? Like how are you feeling?
like my head's fried. Like I said, like I love the girl, I love her to bits. And like there's a part of me like that there's a fucking like it feels like there's a fucking hole and it's horrible. Um, but again, like that's because I fought so hard. Do you get me to
Yeah,
fix my mistake? And it
yeah,
like so now I've got to deal with the fact that it's not
yeah,
getting fixed. And like I've got to move on with it. Like I've lost a stone I
yeah. I
lost a
was
stone
gonna
in a
say,
month.
do you know what? You look like you've lost mad weight.
Um, it got to the point where I couldn't cope with everything that was going on, and obviously, my kid's mum, like she took him away.
Yeah,
He was like going on holiday, and like luckily she been cool. Do you get me?
yeah.
And she was like, if you want to come out, just fucking let me know. Um, so
That's kind.
I basically booked a flight on the Tuesday. They flew up on a Monday. I was close to a breakdown on a Tuesday. I
Oh,
think Georgia's still in here. I tackled Georgia on a Tuesday and I was fucking really upset. Um,
oh,
and then I booked a flight on a Tuesday, flew out on the Thursday to Corfu, where my kids were.
yeah,
Got an apartment like on the other side of the complex.
yeah.
And I just spent a couple of days with my kids.
And that, yeah, because that helps. And I think that's where you've got your children, yeah, and you're present in their life and they're a big part of your existence. I think that can be like a motivation thing, in it. It can really think, you know what, I got my kids, I gotta keep going. I have to keep going. But it's when you're on your own, like when you're on your own and you're there with your own thoughts. Like how does that make you feel? If you felt like how have you felt about that?
Do you really want me to say that?
Yeah, man. I just want this to be. I want it to be honest and raw and transparent. Because the thing is, do you know what? People don't know. People will look at you, Ant, and think, "Yeah, he's a strong individual. He's a strong man. He's a tattooist. He's you get me active and everyone. He's always smiling, always making jokes. But people don't know your pain. They don't know the pain that men go through. So I think it's if you can, and if it's not too raw for you, and you can be transparent, then let's do it.
Before I got on that plane, I had to phone Keelan
Eh,
to stop me like reacting out of anger. And
Okay.
trust me, I would have lit people's world up with what I was about to do.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he talked me down, but there was time, like, because of my situation, I was ready to give up.
Oh. And this is it, and I think there are a lot of men that's what they think. They think, "Do you know what, I'm just gonna give up." And it's like, unless you got people around you, unless you are strong enough to, because reaching out to other people and actually having conversations and talking through your emotions, yeah, I think that takes it's a superpower. It takes so much strength to do that because people go through shit. Could be going through shit, yeah, and you'll ride that shit out on your own. And unfortunately, that's how a lot of men end it because they can't take it anymore and they've got no one to speak to. So thank God you had somebody who said, "Nah, we're not doing that, not today."
I think it's lucky in a way, like, because I've got my kids, like, that idea that they would be upset.
Yeah,
Like, I made the joke. I was on holiday, and I was sat with like my kid's mum, and I said, like, I explained to her like how bad this shit is, and she was like, "Yeah, but they'd be upset," and I was like, "They'd be rich, because obviously my life insurance is ridiculous." Um,
for fuck's
I'm
sake.
like,
I'll bump you off today then.
yeah, like obviously my daughter's laughing, like she thinks it's funny because I say stupid. Like, that's what I mean. Like, I got to a point where I make a joke about
Yeah,
everything, and I couldn't joke no more. Like, I can't like find, I couldn't laugh my way through it,
yeah,
and that's how, like, that's how I knew I was struggling when this all started, and obviously I spiraled from obviously losing her. Then I lost my home. I didn't have my dog with me. Me and the kids were forced into a hotel. Like, it was grim. Like, I felt like I had nothing left.
yeah,
Um, and like I said to fucking the kid's mum, like, I've never felt so lonely. Even though I have friends and like I got a kid, like, I've never fucking felt so lonely in my life.
yeah. Because you can have all those things around you. You could be in a room with a million people and still feel very alone. I
Mm.
agree with
And
that.
like then I was
And I think,
in my head so much, and like anyone who like overthinks or know, like your brain, like my brain runs under a mile an hour. Like,
yeah,
and it's not like normally, like, I make loads of jokes, like it's funny because I can see things before anyone else would see them.
yeah,
Or like, and I apply it to my work and stuff like
yeah,
that. I haven't, like, it's not like that. It's weird now. I'm trying to think of 1,001 scenarios to protect myself from
yeah,
getting hurt, and I'm still getting hurt. So I'm missing the one fucking thing. And like, I haven't, like, it's one of them things where previously I bottle it up and I keep going. And this is the first time ever I had to learn to sit with my feelings and understand how I'm feeling. Um, and like try to work and understand why I'm feeling like it, and like this is how I came to like the realization of how my actions affect both me and the person I care about, and then it's having an effect on my kids, it's having an effect on my job and things like that.
yeah, yeah. And I was going to say, in regards to job, obviously you're a tattooist, a very great one. Or all my tattoos are definitely done by Mark for Greatness. Um, do you think you use your job as a way to kind of is it like therapy doing your job? Do you find it quite therapeutic?
I used to going through this, no, like
No.
I'll admit this is the first time in a long time I've struggled. Like,
And it's
normally,
obviously if your mental health is affected, it affects you
yeah,
creatively. You can't create.
like there was a point where like I tattooed Chloe, Ben, who's Paul's Prince, Kieran,
Yeah.
his brother Craig. Like, I was only tattooing people who I knew. I wasn't tattooing people who I had to like make an effort with. Sort of thing. I only tattooed people who knew the situation, knew how I was feeling, because then they was understanding and they didn't expect much. Like, all as long as they got a good tattoo with it. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like, I've never taken time off work when I've gone
No.
through anything, and
No,
you know
you
that.
don't. You kept
And it
going,
got to
yeah.
a point where I had to do it, and like I cancelled an appointment,
Yeah.
and the guy kicked off over me like going away to see my kids. Like, bearing in mind, like, my daughter is like my best friend in the world. My son, like, we're closest like they're my favorite people. Do you get me? And obviously
Yeah.
the other situation, that was my other favorite person.
Yeah.
Like, so I needed one or the other, and I didn't have one, so I had to go and find the other.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And you found comfort in that. And this is, and sometimes people can not understand that. They could be like, well, I need you here. So what are you
Well, yeah,
doing? And I think this is
this is what I
where,
mean. Like, obviously, I got my apprentice to like try and rearrange people's appointments, and the one guy was like, "No, I'll just have my money back." But because I was in a foreign country, I couldn't use my banking app. So
okay.
I had the message and say, "I'll tell him I'll send him Monday as soon as I get off the fucking plane."
Yeah.
So do you get me? So obviously, I did that as soon as and I'm talking. I'm walking through like the terminal to go to passport control
Flipping out,
on
you're
the
transferring the
banking app,
kind of
sending this
money.
guy his refund. Um, and then like obviously I posted that I went on holiday to see my kids, and then I like gets a message kicking off. I think it's shit that you did it. Delete. Just delete the message because
Yeah.
at that point in time, I was so fucking volatile. Like if I like blow up on someone, bear in mind he's just some guy who booked in for that. It's gonna go bad. Do you get
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
So yeah, like obviously, like I said, I had to learn to sit how I feel, and I think what people don't understand, like just because I'm a tattooist, I'm not on demand.
No. You're a
Like
human
that's
being
yeah,
also.
and like I put up a post saying like, stop messaging me after work. Like I've got
Yeah.
like a group of people I speak to, but like now I ignore fucking everything after work. Like just don't care.
You
Like I
have to.
ignore.
You have to take time off for self care and self love as well. But it plays a part in it because you can't be everything to everyone if you're depleted. If you ain't got that, if you haven't got the mental capacity to deal with things, it's okay to take a little day off. It's okay to take time out and spend time doing the things that you love and the things that are going to kind of bring you back to center. And this is where I think there's a lot of demand again on men to just keep going and adhere to and sort of, pander to everybody's needs. No, you need a break. Like men need a break too, innit? Women scream from, day to day, oh, I need a break, I need this, I need that. As men need it too, because we are just all human beings and we're made up of emotions too.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like my life, like it's not easy, but it's my life. Like obviously I'm a dad, so like my kids. I spend a lot of time with my kids. I'm like, it's non fucking stop.
Yeah,
Do you get me? And like it was just too like I just had too much on my fucking plate.
yeah,
Um, and I did that to myself.
yeah,
And then obviously like it's like I said, it spiraled into this fucking situation that I'm in now, and now like I got to find a way through the next part of it.
yeah,
So it's one day at a time. And like I
yeah,
keep saying, like I said to you on the phone, and like everyone else, like I'm gonna have good days. I'm gonna buy. There's gonna be moments this shit's gonna fucking break me. But at
yeah,
the same time, like at some point, I'll wake up one day and go, "Oh, I'm okay."
yeah,
And
yeah.
like it's almost like a relief. The situation is done. Like it's
Oh,
not nice. It's not a nice situation.
no,
But
no,
at the
but it
same time,
definitely takes a toll on you
yeah,
mentally.
at the
It
same
does.
time, like knowing that I did everything I could, I couldn't do no more other than fucking being with her. And now like the situation is what it is,
Yeah.
and like I'm out of it, so I just keep it moving.
And what, like, in, do you know, like, you're openly speaking about this, and I commend you on doing that because it's hard to actually speak about your feelings, speaking about emotions, and speaking about your mental state. But how do you think speaking about your feelings, how can it help with your mental health? How does it help you?
I think it's important because like if I like one thing I learned through all this is I have so much going on in my head, and I'll be walking around almost like you'll see me look like it's like I'm talking to myself. I'm having a conversation with myself, but it's
Yeah.
not that. It's me rehearsing things that I want to say.
Okay.
Do you get me? And it got to a point where like I had so much going on in my head. So like being able to talk to my friends and things like that, and them being like, listen, they let me rant, they let me say this, and they let me say that. Like it was getting that out. It meant it wasn't wasn't swirling. It wasn't spiraling. Like it wasn't in my fucking head all the time.
Mm.
But at the same time, like it was it was so like it's like being on a fucking M5 at rush hour in my head, like jam packed with fucking stuff.
Yeah,
And every day was different. It was like like one day I was angry, one day I'm frustrated, then I'm fucking, close to tears, and it's like why, like trying to understand why I feel that way, and
yeah,
then like anyone who's ever been through a breakup will be able to tell you like there's a point where you're like, why the fuck? And then you kind of realize, and like I said to you, like I did there, to the point where I stripped everything back,
back
even
to
like
yeah,
months back. And I was like, why do I feel the way I feel? And like, that's when I genuinely, like, I knew I loved the girl, but the realization of how much and like how fucking like connected to it was fucking wild. Like, I've
yeah,
never had that. And like, obviously, you know me for 20 years
yeah,
plus. And like obviously you know both my kids' mums,
yeah.
and you've like I've never had that with anyone, and the fact that like obviously I had the process, it was all a new feeling to me. Um,
So you had to do is navigating new feelings, new emotions, a new person. Get into it kind of you kind of get to know yourself again, don't you? Or you're learning about a different part of yourself because it's something you've never had before.
well, yeah, like and then like I said, my mate Dave Ben pulls tours. Like I spoke to him about it before it all kicked off, and he was like, just calm down, like, and I
Okay.
calmed down, and then like I was fine about it, and then
Yeah.
the anxiety kicked in again, and like that's when I spoke to someone else who I shouldn't have been speaking to, and it's like, fuck, like why can't I fucking stop? Do you get me? Like,
Do you think it's a thing where you're just reaching out to? It's you reaching out. Is there? I don't see the problem in reaching out,
no,
but
I
then
think what it is, and we said this like when I spoke to you on the phone this morning. I think it's relationship PTSD.
okay, yeah, because that's a real thing, you know. And listen, that's a. You know what? I'm so glad you said that because that's a big thing that women talk about all the time. Oh, I got PTSD from my man, whatever, whatever. But nobody talks about the PTSD and the trauma that a man might experience because of relationship and because of what he's been through with a woman. Because women can be, I hate using the word toxic. I hate it, but it's a real thing. Women can be toxic too. We're all up. Society is very up on speaking about toxic masculinity. We need to talk about the toxic feminine too, because that's a real
Yeah,
thing.
of course it is. And do you know the problem is, like I was saying earlier, with things like TikTok, it's encouraged.
Very,
It's almost
very
like
much.
people are trying to out toxic each other. It's like there's levels to the game, and it's like, oh well, you're not toxic enough. Oh, I'll burn your car. I'll do this. I'll do that. Like I'll be outside your house at 4 a.m. Or I want my man to be obsessed with me. And like you could be
Yeah,
obsessed with your partner, but you don't have to do it in a toxic
it can
way.
be healthy.
But yeah, like the problem is like when I was in a relationship before, when things were um good, and then like if anything went wrong, I
Yeah,
was so used to someone blowing up my phone, so used to someone screaming at me or like trying to get my attention. And then when this all happened and that didn't come, and I was like, I don't know what to do.
because it's not normal to you.
Yeah, so like obviously when I got this good relationship, the fear kicks in where I'm like, is this gonna work? Like like how much longer till shit hits the fan or things change or like, and yeah, so I got in my own head, like, and developed like a fucking anxiety over the situation, and it all comes from what I've been through before.
Okay, and sometimes with that as well, with our foot, we manifest certain things. Obviously, we don't manifest, we don't want it to turn out bad or whatever, but because you're preempting it, sometimes that's the only way you can go. And there is you do that. People do suffer from trauma from relationships. I've always said it's a real thing. Do you know what I'm saying? And I just think if we were more mindful as human beings, yeah, we can apply it to the outside world. Or if we're having a conversation with someone else, we say, yeah, you must do this and you must do that. Or it would be nice if you did this and it'd be nice if you did that. But when we're actually in something ourselves, we don't realize how toxic we can be. as women as well. Because remember, women are nurturers, carers, lovers, all those things, but they're manipulators as well. And especially, I think, like, what do you think about this generation? Come on, we're from a certain generation. Do you get me?
Girls,
We're the lovers. We grew up on R&B. We want 90s kind of fucking love. Do you know
lovers
what I'm
rock
saying?
reggae and
Like, do
shit
you know
like
what I'm
that. You
saying?
get me?
That's the type of shit we was, but do you know, see now, see me when I look at like this whole, all the girls are city girls and then the robbing the man them and doing it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Oh,
Finding
you
their
gotta take
baby
me out and
dads and
you're
shit
paying.
like that. You get
Yeah,
me? Like,
yeah,
yeah.
you're paying. I don't want a man who's, bro, he needs to look after me.
But
Like,
there's this
fuck
thing on
me.
TikTok now where girls are like sharing like screenshots from the CSA or fucking like
Oh shit.
messages of like this, like where their man's like obviously said a certain thing to them that they've taken offence to. They're sharing screenshots and shit like that. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But let me
When
just
did
get
we
this a
become
minute.
this?
Riley's mummy saying, like, obviously to what I was saying about my like PTSD, self sabotage. That's
Yeah,
exactly what it fucking was.
yeah,
And this is why I hold my hands up and say I fucked up because I had something fucking amazing and like a fucking plonker, I basically put her in the same box as the previous,
yeah.
and obviously this is what I've gone and done, and now the situation's done, and like there's no going back.
Can I
Um,
ask you a question as well? Sorry to cut you, but can I ask you a question? So, do you know, like, obviously you were single for a substantial amount of time, yeah, and then you met this
Yes.
person 5 fucking years. That 5 years of healing, bro. That's wicked. I don't care. Sometimes you need that shit. But you know, like going into a new relationship, were you very open about your previous experiences
Yeah.
and the things that? Yeah. Okay.
This is the maddest thing. Like, obviously, I'm very closed off, and like, I only speak to yourself or like my actual friends about what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I felt safe. Um,
That's the
she
key
knew about
word.
shit. Like,
Okay.
she knew about shit that was going on
Yeah.
before we got together. Like, when we was talking, like in our talking stage,
Yeah.
I was going through some stuff, and she was there the whole time, and like, I felt safe enough to talk to her about it. Like, where there's a lot of people would never have known I was going through it.
Okay.
And then yeah, from there, I I was all in. Like, if I was going through something, I told her. Like, she was there. While I had to deal with like certain phone calls and fucking certain other stuff, which was upsetting.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, she was there the whole, like, did you get me? So like, it's not like I put up the wall for certain. Like, I knew that was my person. Do you get me?
Okay. Okay.
So yeah,
I got
it is a trust thing, isn't it? Like, at the end of the day, and like, I trusted her wholeheartedly. Because otherwise, like, your relationship's never going to work if you don't trust them, you know.
no, without trust, I don't think it ever works. Riley's memory says, but a strong woman would know and fight through that. If anything, stand with you and get through it stronger together. And I think,
I appreciate that, but at the same time, when you feel like you've been betrayed, like, bear in mind, I'm someone like, I'm very much, like I said earlier, I'm very much a lover boy. So if I love you, I'll fucking tell you 100 times a day. I ain't shy. Do you get what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like, I
yeah,
walk
I think
hand in
that's
hand with her all
beautiful.
across town. Like, she was in the shop. If like we had a break, I'd go and cuddle her and give her a kiss and bit. Like, I'm not shy in fucking high. Like, do you get me?
Yeah,
So to her, what I did has made her feel a certain type of way. Like, I would, like, the only word I would use is maybe inadequate or like um lesser. Do you get me? If
okay,
I if I'm having a conversation with another female who she maybe deems attractive, whereas like to me she's just a girl I know,
yeah,
but obviously she didn't see it like that, so she feels betrayed by me, the person who tells her he loves it every fucking day, that wants a future with her.
yeah.
But like, it almost looked like I was complaining the about how the relationship will go because of the situation.
But then again, you do have the PTSD from previous
But I
relationships,
never
and
explained that to her. Do you get like, and even
okay,
like now, I haven't had the opportunity to sit and explain that to her. Like, I've done everything I can to apologise, but
yeah,
at the same time, like, they're just words on a screen or on a piece of it. Like, do you get me? Like,
yeah,
so I kind of understand it, and like, obviously my behaviour, like, reactionary to her behavior, and at the
Yeah.
same time, inconsiderate to how I've made her feel. Do you get me?
Okay. But has there ever been moments where she's asked? Because I think in when it comes to like mental health and relationships and stuff, it's got to be reciprocal, innit? It's got to be reciprocated. What about how, if your feelings ever been spoken about?
Yeah, like
Is
we
she
like we had
how?
a text conversation not
Okay.
long after.
Okay.
7 hours, mind you. 7 hours this conversation went on for.
A text conversation for 7 hours. See, this is what I fucking mean. Because in reality, two people, you know, in them 7 hours, you could have come together and literally spoken face to face. That is crazy. That would take a toll on your mental. That, see, my mental health would have been gone in the first 7 minutes. I'm
Well,
telling
no,
you.
this is the thing. Like, obviously, we were going back and forth, and the one issue between us that couldn't get resolved, obviously, is why it never moved forward.
Mm.
But I think because it was through text message, the tone and things like that got taken the wrong way.
This is what
Um,
I mean. It can be misconstrued.
exactly, and then from there, everything completely fell apart, and that's when like I was becoming reactionary and things like that, and like the emotion got in the way,
Mm.
the fear got in the way,
Mm.
and like Chloe said, that if there's like fucking someone's not allowing you
Yeah.
because of like if they can't like drop their barrier, like and understandably, if you're feeling like oh like well I'm just gonna get hurt, like it makes it more difficult. And like I get it because at the same time, if the shoe was on your foot, I'd probably be a bit like, do you get me? But like Chloe said, and there's not much you can do other than like, so everything is relied on like written word, whether it's text or whatever
Yeah.
else, and it's got nowhere because too, like I've put too much in when like I had to strip it back, and this is where mental health plays a massive part because you're trying to get as much information out as possible, as much communicating, like, do you get me? So you're trying to say everything all at
You
once, just in case
can.
you don't,
Just in case
and
you
then,
miss something.
yeah, it can feel like a machine gun going off.
Okay.
So
That's a,
yeah, like,
that's a powerful analogy, man. Definitely a powerful analogy. And I think this is, you know what, in a world where we rely on phones, text, guessing, do you know what I mean? Trying to figure out what the other person's saying, trying to do all of that. And it's about communication, isn't it? And I think it's also about comprehension too. Because we can communicate, yeah, but if you're not understanding what the other person is communicating, speak on it. Say, look, I don't get it. I don't understand where you're coming from. And that's where the conversation needs to be had. I think we rely way too much on technology when it comes to certain things. And then when you strip it back, if you can't get in touch with the person, you know what I mean? We get frustrated, we get angry. You go through, how many times have we all been in situations where we go through the motions? It starts off hard, it's okay. Then we're upset, then we're angry, then we get raged, then we're upset again. Do you know what I mean? Now, imagine that shit is going to take a toll on you physically, mentally, emotionally, so many different ways. I'm just going to, before you comment on that, I'm going to just read out. So Chloe Lauren says, I think this is in regards to your situation, and I think if she would have allowed you time to see her so you could explain and show you're sorry, you could have pulled through as you're open and honest, and she could have seen the pure and raw emotion. Riley's mum says the ugly conversations are needed to strengthen a relationship. Now, do you know what? Let me repeat that. She says the ugly conversations are needed to strengthen a relationship. Real talk. Real talk. Because listen, do you know with uncomfortability comes a superpower, yeah? If you ain't willing to be uncomfortable, then you're not ever gonna progress in anything. Because sometimes certain situations are gonna be uncomfortable. Certain conversations are gonna be uncomfortable, yeah? And where ego plays a part and where emotions play a part, and then, maybe the insecurities play a part too, you shut down. You shut down on the first sign of anything that's raw. But I think we need to be a little bit more open, and I think it will help in terms with not just our mental health, but it's like being in a relationship. You have to learn each other's love languages, isn't it? Some people's love language is words of affirmation. Some people's love language is just physical touch. You could just be there and not say a word. Do you know what I'm saying? But then some people's love language is communicating how you feel. And I don't think there's anything wrong with communicating how you feel. Women do it on a daily. We moan. How many times do we complain in one day? Do you know what I mean? And we're not grateful for certain things that we have. But I think that if you could kind of just turn that around and say, do you know what? Let me turn that into listening, innit? Let me listen for once. It's crazy. Chloe says, I love that you become a team and as one when you see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's a real thing, man. As somebody who's been through, who's got relationship PTSD, because let's be real, you have got that. Like, I understand why you've got it. It's been a fucking journey. Do you know what I'm saying? But as somebody who has got that, what is your advice to like any man out there that is in a situation with somebody and they feel that they can't communicate their emotions? What would your advice be?
Find a fucking way. If that's the person you want to be with, if you like sit there and you see your life with this person, you find a fucking way. Because let me tell you now, this shit have not been fun, and it's not going to be fun for the next however long. This like I got to deal with this shit. Like like what Chloe said there, like your team, and obviously Riley's mum saying like ride or die, like that's what we were to each other. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay,
Like from like the time we woke up in the morning to the time we went to sleep. If she wanted me, like we made sure we communicated through the day. Like
okay,
whether it was voice notes or text or like whatever. Like it was wild because it wasn't like, do you know some people they're constantly like what you do. Like we knew life gets in the way, but
yeah,
like as long as at some point we heard each other's voices and things like that, we were cool.
comfort, yeah,
And like literally, I could have told her anything, and she would have been it. But the one thing that I was worried about because I couldn't find the words to fucking say it is the one thing that they just did, like you know, buried us, and now like it, it's just accepting like the situation now. And like obviously we spoke on it yesterday.
yeah.
Obviously, and like today and stuff like that. And it's a different metal game to play. It's kind of wrapping your head around like, okay, cool, that didn't work, so now I gotta do it.
Okay. Chloe says it only takes 3 seconds to pop a text to check in.
Exactly.
It
Like
does.
like we only text at certain times depending on location. Um,
Okay.
it was a lot of voice notes. Like even in work, like I take breaks to like just send her a voice note, like reply to her voice note and things like that. I went to London with my daughter, FaceTime her walking around fucking the night shop in London. Like
Just to
I'm
give
like,
that reassurance and you're being attentive.
yeah, not just that. Obviously, like showing on, like I appreciate the person she is and things like that, and like I haven't got a bad word to say about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, finding my new not like I'm gonna say this: my life's not normal. I'm not normal. I'm not normal. No.
I don't think anybody's normal. But it is like trying to, when we go through things and it takes a toll on our emotional health, yeah, and our mental state, it is about finding new ways to kind of navigate through. As somebody who was you were single for 5 years, you then were then in a relationship, met someone, and thought it was the best thing, and it's hard because then at the first sign of trouble, look how it's escalated. Do you know what I'm saying? Chloe said, no, Riley's mum says, having someone in your life every day, every second, to then to them change, it's like a death, losing somebody. Yeah, and you have to get mourning it. And
Yeah.
it's just thanks for the follows, guys. I'm gonna follow you back as soon as I come off the line. Big up DJ Sticky Fingers. DJ Sticky Fingers, guys, for those of you who don't know him, he's an absolute tool. He is the I'm gonna call him a co-host now on this podcast because he don't really do his job properly. He takes annual leave for a very, very long time and he's probably upset because he's not involved in all this. But I'm doing a one-to-one because it's men's mental health and I wanted to speak to somebody who's going through it, okay? So Sticky, mind your business. But yeah, I just think that it's finding new ways, like finding new ways to kind of, because you're going to get up and you're going to think about it, and each day is different. Like you said, you can have days where you're up, you'll have days where you're down. With, how do you cope with what, how do you feel on the up days and what are your down days? Talk to me about those.
Um,
What's your up days like? Because I remember I know you in it.
yeah,
So I know what your up days are
I,
like.
I,
So what's
I,
your up days like?
I think Chloe and I'll tell you, we had an update yesterday.
I
Obviously,
hear.
we spoke about it last night. Obviously, we've seen like, do you get me? That was my update. Do you get me? Like, and then today's a bit of a down day. Um, it's like when I'm up, I'm bouncing. When I'm down, I'm quiet.
Do you think your up days are? Do you think you go into like some kind of character
Yeah,
on your up day?
yeah.
Is it
I
masking? Would you say it's masking?
possibly, yeah. It's almost like I've got to put on. I can't show people I'm hurting. Do you get me? That's how I feel a lot of the time. And like yesterday, I was so fucking tired with it all, and I was like trying not to. Like obviously, I spoke on it,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I was just trying not to crack.
Okay. So it's trying to keep yourself up and trying to you're on that vibe, so you're like, right, I gotta stay up, I gotta stay up. But I think, you know, sometimes when we concentrate on that and we're so focused on staying up, then the down day will come. Like today. Today's been a different kind of energy for you. It's been a different kind of day. And how do you kind of get through that? What are your methods? What do you do?
Um, I actually don't like. I really don't know. Like I kind of become withdrawn when I'm struggling. Like I kind of like hide away. Um, or like I just try and like get around my kids if I can, because if they're around, I know that I got to show up. Do you get me? And I
You
kind of
have to. Yeah.
it's when
You have to.
you're sat there and you're by yourself, and you that's when your mind's running wild, and like that's when fucking the feelings are there and all that other shit. And Riley's mum is asking why can't I show people what me crack? It's not nice. Um,
Chloe just made a good point, yeah. He said people who know you can also see through you masking it. Hence, the, you know, why she personally texts in. And this is the thing. It's like, you know, if you're lucky enough, one thing I will say about you is you're lucky enough you've got people who actually care about you. There are people out there who don't have people who see them or hear their silence or know when they're actually going through something. And it's even sometimes when you've got people, you, you can still feel like you haven't. You know what I'm saying? You can still feel like, well, yeah, I'm still on my own. I still got to deal with the situation, or I still got to go through. And also, as well, you start thinking about other things, don't you? Like, do you find that? Because I do, and when I'm low and I just start it spirals, and I start thinking about other shit. I really do.
no, I spoiled, but I spoiled really fucking bad for all this.
Okay.
Because of like the guilt of like what I like, what like how like, and like a lot of people, oh maybe like they saved you done that, and like I said, I like literally went back over and I'm like, there's nothing to suggest that's where we would have ended up anyway.
Okay.
Um, so that's what hurt the most, because I heard someone like who is a fucking like with me is an amazing person. Obviously, what have happened afterwards, that's on her. Um,
Yeah.
whatever. But like, I think what it is, a lot of people like realize it's harder for me to hide it. I think
Okay.
where this was so raw and so genuine, like I can't hide it.
Yeah.
Um,
It's probably a good thing that you haven't, though. It's probably a good thing, don't you think? Because I think, you know, when you suppress and you keep all that inside, I think it makes things 10 times worse.
yeah, like it comes out a little bit this afternoon. So I've had to like replace some shit.
Okay.
There's a hole in the shop wall.
Oh, shit then. My man went all physical
No,
and all that on
I
him.
launched the tripod across the shop, and because the walls are plasterboard, the fucking thing just stuck in the wall. Like,
Did you feel good when you did
yeah,
it?
that felt great. I
Yeah,
smashed up a
yeah.
fucking.
I'm all for the rage thing. I want to go to a rage room. I do just to smash and all that. Definitely, I think it's a good. It's a good thing. It can be beneficial because it's better than smashing someone's face in. Riley's mummy said, "Did you self sabotage other areas of your life when you're at a bad point?" Because I do. I cut everyone off, but my real ones put up with my shit. Do you know what? I can relate to that. I can definitely
Yeah,
relate
like
to that.
I do that. The thing I do when I'm going through some shit. This is why I have so many pairs of trainers, because I buy trainers, or like I'll eat badly, like I won't look after myself properly and things like that. Like, do you get me? Like stupid little things. I go spend money on stuff that I don't need, and
You know,
yeah,
yeah,
so I,
to overcompensating.
yeah, it's like that dopamine hit, and it's like I've actually like got past that. Like obviously, I bought two pairs of trainers the other week,
Mm.
and I just looked at them; they're still in the
And they're
box. I
still in the box because it didn't
I
fill the void.
didn't get that, and the maddest thing is, obviously, like as much as I keep going back to it, like I didn't have that when I was with it. I didn't need that. Do you get what I'm
Because,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, because she was there. Um,
and
Chloe said, hopefully not the traders.
no,
Oh,
my friend Nick's.
big up Melt Me. So Melt Me Insta says, absolutely love this gent's honesty. And that this is what it's about. I think it's about being honest and it's about being able to talk about your feelings and emotions as a man. Because, like I said at the very beginning, men are not. They're not seem like you know me, and I got my brother. My brother can come and talk to me about anything. Any man that is in my life, whether they're a friend, partner, whatever, you can come and talk to me. Sometimes it's kind of detrimental to my own mental health. I won't lie, but I'd rather, yeah, someone come and speak to me as a man because I know how hard it can be. I know how hard it can be as a woman. I fuck knows how hard it is for a man. I remember women are emotional creatures, you know. So we're okay to display emotions. We're okay to kick off and have whatever, but men are. It's like men are not allowed to. So imagine how much they do keep in. Riley's mummy said rage room needed, 100%. Oh, there's a rage room in Newport. Do you know what? I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to go and check that out. Um, Chloe also says retail therapy does help though, and a lot of people use that as a coping mechanism. Yes, it
Yeah,
is
my
something
retail
that.
therapy is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you know when you go in like Foot Asylum now and they got them big like things of clothes? I
Mhm.
got one of them. I got drawers full. I got bags full of clothes, like with tags on and shit.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got like 20 pairs of jeans.
Yeah.
I've got like just stuff for like
Yeah.
for no reason at all. And it's like, why the fuck have I got it? Oh, because I was going through depressive episodes and I thought it'd make me feel better.
Yeah.
And now I look at it and
Um,
I'm like, it's just stuff.
it's just stuff. And it doesn't fill the void. It doesn't. It makes you feel good in the moment, but it actually doesn't fill the void. I want to read this comment out because it's a lovely comment. Riley's mummy says, I only followed him because he's a tattooist who understands the importance of ASD. Yesterday, he was an open book and my respect it. This is what I mean. And I think people need, and she also says, I need a new house or a Bentley if you're buying.
Yo, I don't even drive a
In
Bentley.
it, you could be sad in a Bentley. Trust me, I'll cry in a Bentley.
Yes,
That's fine.
still, do you get me? No, obviously I appreciate that. Like the thing with me is like when everyone's like, "Oh, you go do the TikTok thing, you're a tattooist, like you do well." Da 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 da. I didn't want to do the fake shit.
Expectation again. Yeah,
Like I can't be fake. I can't put on like, "Oh, let's do skits. Let's do like, let me show you what it's like to come into my shop."
yeah,
Um, and then obviously like yeah, we do the lives, and even like when I did them before, like I was never fake. I was always genuine. And like yesterday,
yeah,
like a lot of people haven't seen me for a while because obviously I kind of with like I said withdrew. I took all the socials off my phone and stuff like that.
yeah.
It was even a point like my kids run my TikTok anyway. My kids get paid to post on TikTok for me.
Oh shit, I'll make a TikTok for you.
So like when we come back from holiday, I told my daughter, do not give me the password until I'm ready for it. And obviously now because of the situation,
Yeah,
I'm okay. It's like okay because I'm not. I was hurting myself by obviously checking to get me on situations.
yeah,
And I had to realize that. So I stepped off, and it was like, okay, now I'm not making the situation worse. I'm
yeah,
not trying to hurt myself even more. We all know the fucking score.
yeah.
So leave, like, do you get me? Like I said, that situation's come to an end now. Like, obviously, it's raw because it's only like day or
It's
two.
brand new.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
brand
brand
new.
new situation where like now I have to go through that grieving process.
And it is, do you know, like I think it was one of the girls in the comments earlier on said something about it's like a grieving
Yeah,
process.
yeah, yeah.
When you've gone through something emotionally with another person, yeah, and then you come out of it, it is like it's like you're mourning. 100% it is like you're mourning. It's horrible. And you have to go through the motions. You have to go through the steps in order to sort of move forward from it. Sometimes some people don't see a way of moving forward. They don't see past that. And it's a tough one. It is a tough one. But I think with the support and with you being who you are, like with you being able to speak so openly and honest and be raw about your situation, I think that helps though. It's a strength that not a lot of people have, especially when it comes to men. Men don't like to talk about their emotions. They don't like to say how they're feeling.
Well, this is the
Um,
thing. Like, obviously, they were saying yesterday, and I said, like, I have no problem being transparent. I'll always be honest, and this is why, like,
mm,
the situation, yeah, it's on me that it is what it is.
mm,
But at the same time, like, I'm never gonna like, I'm not that guy who's gonna sit there, oh fuck her, dude. Like, I'm gonna love her for like however long I'm gonna like. I don't know when this feeling's gonna fade,
mm.
um, but I know that like I have to love someone and not be with them. Do you get me?
Emotional intelligence, so that's emotional intelligence right there.
Yeah. So like obviously now I'm dealing with that, and that's the only thing I can do. Deal with
Okay.
it in whatever way I need to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Chloe says that's a strong thing to do though, and it's easy to get in your feels and check in and see what's what. So it is a strong thing for you to make that decision to step away from social media yourself. Yeah, because I think social media can mess you
Yeah,
up, man. It
man.
can really, really mess you up. It can cause a lot of problems as well. You know, people will see things and they'll be like, "Oh, you never guess what," and all of that shit. Yeah, and you got to kind of just sometimes you've got to kind of just switch off and zone out. But you know what I want to do is I do want to commend you on the fact that you've been able to be so raw, real, and honest, and you've taken accountability for the part you played in it. Because that's a big thing. That's where a lot of men do struggle is kind of just admitting. If to me it takes a big man to stand up and say, "Listen, I messed up, played my part in it." Do you know what I mean? And I'm gonna be honest about that. And yeah, that takes a lot. It takes a big thing. So I'm just going to personally commend you, not only as a friend, but just as from a woman to a man. Do you know what I'm saying? Because women are all quick to bash men and say this and the other. So I'm actually going to commend you on what the things you've done and the part that you acknowledge the part that you played in it. You said you did wrong by reaching out to somebody else and talking to someone else. I mean, when you break it down, some people will say, yeah, it's not that deep what you did, but to her, it hurt her feelings, and you've acknowledged that, and you're taking accountability for that. So pick up yourself on that one. Chloe says social media is like a drug, gets addictive and causes more problems than not. Big up Riley's memory. And guess what? I got a scenario for you. So anybody, if this is your first time watching one of my lives, you will know that I come up with the most messed up scenarios. Yeah, messed up. But I saw this one. Well, this one was sent in before, and I've been sitting on it because I've been live for quite a while, and I've been sitting on it. But when I thought, you know what, this is going to be a good one. So let me give you this one. Are you ready for it?
Go on.
You are. Okay. And it is a real scenario. So no judgment, yeah, but you just gotta give your honest opinion at the same time. So this is from a guy. He says, yesterday, whilst I was sitting next to my girlfriend, she handed me her phone to watch a video. While I was holding it, she received a notification from Badoo. Badoo? A dating app? Okay. She told me not to open it, but I did anyway. And I saw that she'd received a message from a guy she'd matched with on there. When I confronted her about it, she quickly took the phone from me and deleted the message. When I tried to talk about to her about it, she brushed it off, saying it was nothing and accused me of overthinking. The thing is, I really love her, but I can't stop thinking about what happened. I don't know what to do. What would you do in this situation? Oh Lord. Actually, I don't even know if I want to hear it.
So wait there, the missus is on the dating app.
Mm. She gave him the phone to watch a video. The app notifications come off dating app. He read it, didn't he? And it's from someone she's matched with on a dating app. And she told him, you're overthinking. It's basically, I was on there before. What you on about? It don't mean nothing.
Why is he still on the phone? You get me? Like, if you're in a relationship with someone, and
Mm.
this is coming from someone who royally fucked up a good relationship, right? Literally, why the fuck? Like, I haven't got like, I've never been on a dating app in my life anyway. Like, I actually don't
No,
need to go on
me,
dating
I've
apps.
never been on one. I was thinking to go on one for just the research purposes because I hear some mad shit, but I've never been on one in my life. Never.
So, like, she told him don't open it, so she knows.
She knows it's some bullshit.
Yeah, she knows how that app works, right?
Yeah.
So if she's saying don't open it, she knows what he sees is gonna light it up. So basically, there's your phone. I'm gonna fucking see you later. Like what that girl is doing there is worse than what I done, and I fucked up
Way
big.
worse.
Do you
Way
get
worse.
me? Like if you're on a dating app, you're looking for what's next.
Yeah.
You're
And even the thing where you
already
were on there before, yeah. But now you're in a relationship, so why haven't you deleted that? Deactivate your account.
exactly. So she wants to keep her options open. Do you know the thing about that is the context of how long have they been, like, all that is obviously missing, but at the same time, if he's referring to her as his girlfriend,
They've established.
yeah, do you get me? Like they're making, moves together,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And if she's comfortable enough to give him her phone, then like there's obviously a level of trust which has now been broken. Do you get
Has
me?
definitely been broken, and she's telling him, "Oh, she forgot to delete the app. Like you're overthinking it." But that means, to me, I don't know how dating apps work in it, but I'm guessing if you match with someone, if you got to be active on there to match with people, I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
like I don't know how they work myself, but I would assume if your profile's active, like, and someone like, if you've matched with someone, it
Yeah,
means it's recent. Has to be.
that's what I thought. That's
So
definitely what I thought.
I'm guessing there's like an expiration on things.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Um, Chloe says, walk right away. She shouldn't be on a dating app whilst in a relationship. Mega red flag she is. 100%. Riley's mummy says, why is she matching with people but in a relationship? Wrongin'. Yes. Meltme says, nah, she's a savage. Chloe says, narcissistic behavior, I say. Yeah, because we know there's a lot of them out there. And Meltme says, put her in the bin. Put it in the in the bin, all the way in the bin.
Yeah,
Riley's mum says attention seeking from next man. Nah, she's gone. This is the thing, though. It's like this is the thing. Where do we draw the line? Do we need to start having conversations? Yeah, like when we enter a relationship. Oh yeah, like don't speak to anyone else. Don't do that because people. For me, yeah, there's levels to it, isn't it? You said what you did. you were in a very vulnerable situation. You were stressed out. You reached out to somebody, another female, to speak to her, but because you needed someone to speak to, and you needed the advice. Yeah, but then there's also being in a relationship, then reaching out to someone and saying, even though I'm in a relationship, yeah, let's link up, let's do this, let's do that. There's a
Yeah,
difference, isn't there? So where do we draw the line then?
I think the line is like the level of respect, like for your relationship. Like with me, I can see how she felt
Yeah.
disrespected because I have like basically said like I don't know how I'm feeling about what my situation is going to do for my relationship. Do you get me?
Okay.
Like my anxiety got to the point where I'm saying to someone else, "What if she leaves me?" Do you get me? So
Yeah.
that's going to make her feel insecure. That's going to make her feel like I don't have confidence in her.
Yeah.
Whereas if I message someone and said, "Yo, what are you saying?" It's clear that I don't respect my
You're not
relationship.
respecting the
You get
relationship.
me? Like, or like she's not enough for me, sort of thing.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
I'm like with this girl now with the dating app. Her man's not fucking enough for her.
So
Or like,
she's it
yeah,
elsewhere.
because this is the problem. Everyone's always got one eye out the door. Like, I'm not
Okay.
saying my relationship did, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like, you see how people bed hop or like they go from relationship to relationship
Yeah.
so easily. It's either they can't be on their own, or I think the one thing people can't do, they can't be bored together.
Yeah.
That's
You can't
the
be both. Yeah.
that's the one thing I'll stand on with us. We would just do the boring shit. Like we would just chill. Do you get me? Like watch TV and all that shit. Like I had that like on lock. That stuff never bothers me. But yeah, I think that's what it is. We live in a world where people believe their relationships have to be what social media tells them to be.
Yes, that's another big thing. It's another big thing. And there was so I'm gonna read this comment out. So Chloe Lauren says, if you love someone, you would not need to get validation or attention from another man. And that, see that word validation is so real. Riley's mummy says, gotta pop off back to work, but well done, Anne, for speaking out, raising awareness, and being so transparent. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Riley. And Riley's mummy for joining in. Chloe also says, I think if it was just a general friend and you can see that it's not being hidden, I don't see the wrong. When you have to hide it, then no, off you go. If that's what I mean. If there's levels to it, isn't it? There's levels to it because I know I got lots of male friends, like, and my male friends will message me to try and get advice. They're in relationships, do you know what I'm saying? And they will message me for advice. They will ask me, from a female perspective, what you think and whatever. And I've been in situations where, a partner has a problem with them messaging me, and I'm like, look at the messages. Number one, I've known him since we were kids, yeah. I looked at him like a brother, and I can't stand him 99% of the time, yeah. And number two, what are you like? There's something. What are you not doing for him to be able to not be able to talk to you? Because sometimes a lot of men don't feel they can speak to their partners, and I've come
Like with me,
across many.
yeah, with me, it was a case of I didn't want her to take what I say in the wrong way. It wasn't
Yeah,
a case of I was scared to talk to her. I didn't want her to think, well, I'm thinking less of her.
yeah,
Do you get me?
yeah,
Or
yeah.
I'm putting like, which is what I ended up doing. Like not thinking less of her. I ended up putting her in the same boat as the last one. Do you get
Okay, which is a
me?
mistake on your
Yeah,
part.
exactly. Like the
You
thing is,
can't judge
I've
everyone
never
by
been able
one
to explain
person.
this to her, and obviously I never will now. Um, so like for me, and obviously my fucker was speaking to the person she thought I had an interest in previously, because I didn't clear that up. Do you get me?
Okay.
I should have said to her, "Oh, by the way, those screenshots I sent you weren't shit. I was just trying to like make you jealous, trying to like gouge your interest in me."
Okay.
Do you get me?
Okay.
Like Chloe saying there, as soon as you hide things, I didn't hide fuck all. Like I said, she had my password. I'd leave my phone laying around here, there, everywhere. So
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't cheating. I was never gonna cheat. Like we haven't been together for 2 months, and all I've done is try to fight to get her back.
Right.
But obviously that's not what
Yeah.
she wants. Um, so like I even tried saying You know, if I was going to go elsewhere, I would have fucking gone, would I? Like,
You
you
would
ain't
have
going to
done
be
it,
in the
yeah.
market.
If
Like,
a man's gonna go elsewhere, he will go there, trust me. Chloe says, as soon as you have to hide things or hide your phone, then that's when you should walk away. I've had a few exes who messaged other girls in a strange way and hid it and made everything worse. Yeah, I think it does make it worse. When they're hiding it, yeah, or when, for instance, if you go into your partner's phone, me personally, I've never been through my partner's phone because if I find something, it's going to be mad in it. I'm going to fuck you up. But at the same time, why are you looking? So obviously, that's an insecurity within you, innit? And then, all right, so you've gone and looked, yeah? You've gone and looked, whatever. But you haven't really, really, really found anything. Do you know what
this is the
I'm
thing. Like,
saying?
obviously, when I've explained the situation to people, they're like, "Oh, why is she going through your phone? Clearly, she like because everyone has this like prejudged fucking idea that if someone goes through your phone, it means they're guilty." But like,
Yeah.
I've like analyzed the situation, and I'm like, the night before, she showed me an inbox of, like people like the weird shit she gets sent. She's
Okay.
not doing that to me if she's fucking guilty. Like, and
No.
I just looked at it, and I was like, "Oh, like I don't know who puts up with it."
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I think my phone lit up, and she's seen this message come on the lock screen. And if someone's messaging you in the middle of the night, it's baking.
It is because why they messaging you at that time?
Yeah.
You're gonna look in
So
you. Yeah.
I think, like, obviously, like I said, my phone was like there. It's not like I hide my phone and stuff like that. So she's probably seen it and
Yeah.
like what the fuck is that all about? Realized who it's from, realized like the connection and stuff like that. And it's shit because at the end of the day, like, there's nothing to say like we couldn't be in that fucking like happy time now, but we're not. Do you get me? And we're not going to have that now. Um, I don't believe in going through people's phones. I'm one of them people
No.
who's like,
Yeah, I don't believe
if
in it.
if
Chloe
you're
just
going through
said.
someone's phone,
Mm.
you're expecting to find something, and if
You're
you
gonna
fucking
find
find something,
something.
that's just gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
You're gonna find, I mean, you're always gonna find something that you don't agree with or that's gonna piss you off. It might even be so innocent, but you're gonna find something. So I just say, just don't look in it. Don't do that to yourself. Chloe says, my ex's Facebook was on my phone as his phone was broken. He literally used my phone to do it. I've never gone through a partner's phone. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta be secure within yourself and say, do you know what? You gotta know the probability of you finding something is quite high. Whether it's innocent, whether it's, suggestive, whether it's whatever, you're going to find something. And this is where you got to work on yourself. If you feel like, Ant, I'll be honest with you. Let me ask you a straight question, yeah? Give me an honest answer. If her phone was, did you have the password, the thing, the code to her phone?
No,
No. If her phone was there and you had the code to her phone, yeah, and it was just there on the side, it lit up, a message come, you opening it.
no, didn't interest me. She like
Didn't interest you.
I
Yeah.
knew when she had messages because she wore a Fitbit. Same as she knew when I had messages, so my watch, they come up on my watch.
Yeah.
Never fucking interested me. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Like, obviously we walk hand in hand, so I knew when a fucking watch was vibrating and stuff like that. Or like you could hear it like vibrate on
Yeah.
her wrist. Like, never bothered me. Like it, even like social media attention. I was like, oh, like it pisses me off that men would speak to women in that, such a way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, well, she's with me. Like, she's untouchable. And
Yeah.
like Chloe, I tell you, um, like we done a couple of lives and things like that, and like the way she looked at me, it was like I was the only man in the world.
Okay.
And the amount of
So
people
do
that
you
said, I
think
cannot believe, like I said to you earlier, I cannot believe, based on how you were, that you've ended up like this.
do you think it just really hurt her feelings when she saw that
Yeah,
message pop up on
yeah,
your
of course
phone?
it
Do you
did.
think
Like, and
that was
like
the
she
base
said
of
to me,
it?
like her trust issues and insecurities are getting away. And I
Yeah.
think like it's not nice for anyone to feel that way. And at the same time, like I think I never got the opportunity to explain to her how I would fix things.
Okay.
But then at the same time, I I don't like the whole paranoia, toxic feel like what you doing, did it. Like that's not me, and like I wouldn't have allowed her to be like that anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah, like she was saying, like the trust issues and the insecurities are getting away, and I obviously knew that I could change that. Like that's down
Okay.
to me to put in the work. Do you get me? And obviously, like I was trying to get that across and trying to
Yeah.
explain, but obviously not being able to talk properly, and like it was all being done through like text or whatever.
Yeah. Don't work, does it?
Like and like I said, like not understanding how she was deeply feeling about the situation or why she was feeling that way. Like rather than ask her why do you think that, I was just having to go. It's like, well, why would you be like that? Why, like, do you get me? Like, and then obviously the social media thing, like checking this, like that was making me say things that I shouldn't have been saying because my
Okay.
mental health was fucking all over the place, and I'm panicking, and
Okay.
like the fear and things like that are taking over. So I'm saying shit that I don't even fucking mean, and then
Because
like
yeah, you do
yeah,
when emotions are all over the place as well.
like the one thing I stand on now is like I've apologized for my behavior, and like
Okay.
obviously this like the situation's fucking done. So like the last thing that I've said to her is sorry. Do you get me? And I'm glad I did. At the same time, like it's not the outcome I wanted. But like obviously she's made a decision for herself, and that's where we leave it.
Yeah. Okay. But you've been what again, I commend you on your taking your own accountability and just being open and honest about the part that you played. You're able to pinpoint where you went wrong, yeah, or where you may have gone wrong in regards to her, and you're able to kind of just tell your story with conviction. Do you get me? You haven't lied about anything. You haven't made up or bent the truth or whatever. You've been raw, real, and honest, and that's what I think matters most, especially when it comes to, talking about mental health and how our mental state is.
I
And
think
it's yeah, man, it takes a lot.
what people don't understand is your mental state will affect everything you do.
Yes.
And like I know that like mine was shot to the point like, and like I said, like I was acting out of pure panic.
Okay.
Like I explained to her how I thought I had to be under like level 100, like do you get me, all the time to like convince her that this is worth saving and I'm not cheating and I'm not, and like realistically I just should have took a step back
Yeah.
and asked, do you get me, asked about her, where like it comes across as I only care about me
Okay. Makes
because I'm
sense.
like, oh, don't do this, like do you get me, like all that shit, like, oh, like saying I've said this or I've done this, but then you're doing this. So
Do
it's
you
like,
But don't you think you should be able to point out, like, when it comes to you expressing your feelings, you have to, I think it's important to be able to say to the other person, this is what you did that made me feel
yeah, I
some type of way.
think it's perfectly like normal to be able to do that, and it should be
Yeah.
perfectly normal. But at the same time, in that situation, I've invalidated every single thing she's feeling by attacking her for how she's coping with the situation or like how she's choosing to deal with the situation.
Yeah.
And because I'm hurt by it,
Mm.
I'm having to go with her when realistically I should be saying, look, tell me how I've hurt you. And then when she's
Okay.
telling me that, I can then
Yeah.
say, okay, like, this situation, and because of this, like I've done now, I was acting out of react. Do you get me? My
Okay. Yeah.
reaction is being brought on from me checking on you, and I'm seeing things I don't like.
You don't
And
like, yeah.
then that's
Yeah.
when, she's either gonna explain or she's gonna tell me to fuck off. And then that would tell me everything I need to know.
Okay.
But we never
Okay.
got to that point because if someone feels like they're constantly being attacked, they're gonna shut down.
They're gonna,
You're,
yeah, they're gonna
they,
close that.
yeah, they're gonna close off from you, and then if they think they're getting your back up after you've done something to them, they're gonna do it more.
True. Very true. And this is, yeah, and that's just this is where humans are complex. I always say humans need to be restudied because we are one of
And then
species,
obviously,
I'm
like
telling
it's
you.
got to the point where like it's gone too far by the looks of it, and like
Mm,
obviously we had a chat before we come on here, and this, like it's such a confusing situation. But like at the same
Very.
time, it's when we both agree that I leave it alone and what will be will be.
Yeah.
Do you get
Sometimes
me?
I think sometimes you have to just give some shit to the universe, man, and see what it's gonna do with it. I do one thing I will say to you is I do strongly believe if two people are meant to cross paths or be together or whatever, everything will conspire to make that happen. I think sometimes when we are going through things and it's affecting our emotional state, we do things, we say things, and sometimes we find ourselves in a situation that we're thinking, shit, how did I get here? How did I get to this? You know what I'm saying? So as much as imagine you're thinking it, she's probably thinking the same shit too. That's what I would say. She's probably thinking, right, like, how the fuck did I get here? And you never know, you could be on the same page, but until obviously you have that conversation, it's a kind of give it give it to God or give it to the universe or give it to
But
whoever
yeah,
you need to give it to.
it's
And
at
if it's meant to
that
come back.
stage where like I feel that conversation is never gonna come. If it
Yeah.
comes, we'll deal with it when it comes. If not, like I gotta keep it moving and I gotta keep my head
Yeah.
up, and just see what happens.
Chloe's made a beautiful comment. She said, what's meant to be will be no matter what happens,
Where
and
the
you'll
fuck
pull back.
is that? I can't see that.
I know sometimes what it is the Instagram messes up sometimes, so it won't show you who's live and it won't show you who's in the comment. It's weird, it's so strange.
Well, it
You know what?
says there's four people in there, but I can only see three.
Yeah, it's mad. See, now it's telling me there's 9 people in it. It messes up. Instagram is very glitchy. I am definitely transitioning over to TikTok. We'll definitely have to do a TikTok live as well and a little update because sometimes I love to do like little updates and just see where everyone's at as well. But you know what? I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing your views and your spin on men's mental health with us because it's so hard to get people to speak and it's so hard to find people who are open and honest and actually able to just say what it is rather than dress it up, and you've been very real with it. Chloe also said if it's meant to be it will be, the universe will realign what should be. 100%. Chloe's my type of girl, man. I love you
Chloe's
know
wicked,
me.
man. Chloe, like I've known
Chloe's
Chloe for
beautiful.
years, and like we get on
Yeah,
so well,
Emily's
and we talk a
beautiful.
lot,
Yeah,
especially through this. Obviously, like she's very respectful. To be at my situation, like she does, like she's real as well. She's like she'll even apologize before she'll say something, give her opinion and stuff
yeah,
like that. It's
yeah,
funny. She's so
yeah.
cute. Like,
But I love
but
that. I think you need people like that as well in these kind of situations. And she said men's mental health need to be spoken about a lot more. It does because it gets swept under the carpet, and then people do all these things. Oh, men's mental health matters and whatever, but people are not really having the conversations, are they? They're
no,
not. And I
apparently
think
there's this thing on TikTok now where like women are like, oh, a moment of silence for men's mental health, and then they're going blah blah, like basically mocking men's mental health.
so
Um,
terrible, so terrible. Imagine if men did that to women, it'd
yeah,
be such a different
yeah,
story. And this is
like,
why, a lot of men don't reach out to. I'm very grateful, yeah, that I've, you know, I was raised by women. My dad passed when I was 9, so I haven't had the masculine input. But I've kind of seen growing up and stuff. You see the struggles that men go through, and you see that you're spun the narrative of, oh, men got to be strong,
yeah.
men got to do this, men are the providers or whatever. But my mum's always taught me. She said, if you think we go through stuff, imagine what a man goes through, and
Well,
all
that's
that
something
weight.
like
The world's on them, innit? Really.
if you think about it, like obviously, like I've just been through a breakup, but imagine she was the mother of my kids, or like we were married, and I would be the one who lose everything because I'd have to leave the home so
Yeah.
she could have the home with the children and things like that, and then I'd have to be providing for that home and another home, um,
A
and
lot of
things
people
like
don't
that.
speak about that as well. They don't speak about that. Breakups and stuff. It's always the man who got to leave the home
Yeah,
because most 9 times out of 10, it's like a woman and children. Everything's there for them. The government have set it up so everything's there for them. No
exactly.
one
That's the
talks
thing with my
about a man.
situation. Like I didn't know where I was being put until the day I had to move out of my flat. So I was so fucking in my head because they tell you they might put you 25 miles away. And I'm thinking, how the fuck am I going to make a relationship work if I'm 25 miles away? How am I supposed to give her everything she deserves from
Okay.
me Do you get me? And I'm like, how the fuck do I approach this conversation? And like a decade, and like obviously I was speaking, and like all I said is like I don't know how I'm feeling, like because obviously there's this situation, and what if she resents me? What if we grow apart? Like I was going through it all.
All those things were on your mind. That's what you were thinking of in that moment. What if this and what
And
if
like
that and
I
what if
realise
you?
now they're mental health issues because, like I said, it's a PTSD thing. It's anxiety. It's fucking, like fear.
Yeah, it is. It is the fear and the doubt as well. And like doubt plays a big part in a lot of things. So sometimes all these things we fear, they just come from a place. It resonates from a place of doubt. But when we put it into, you know what? If we were to put it into play and say you did speak to her about some of those things, she might have said it don't matter. You know what I mean? It's all right.
Exactly.
Don't even
Like
matter.
like you said,
Literally don't.
I didn't give her the chance.
No, you didn't. But
And
then,
like obviously that's gonna hurt her because she's like, we didn't even like try.
yeah, you didn't even. Yeah. Chloe says women get a lot more than men in those situations, even courtside with women more than men. They do because they always try to keep the children with the mother and whatever and those kind of things. And I don't think men get slept on a lot. They don't
That's
really.
with the courts and things like that, trying to keep the like that goes back to the days of the woman would stay home and keep the home and men go to
Yeah,
work. So again, that is like the standard. Do you
yeah,
get me? Men have and like in situations such as mine where I've got kids with different like separated,
yeah,
it's so easy for the woman to go to the CSA and the CSA prioritize you paying your maintenance over paying your rent.
yeah,
That's why
yeah.
men are killing themselves. That's why men are on the streets and things like that because they're having to lose everything. Otherwise, like you get bailed at your door if you miss a payment and things like it's fucking wild.
Yeah, it's terrible. Listen, I've been through that, not personally myself because I can't be bothered with all that, but I've been, through that with somebody who's gone through the whole thing where, the child's mum have gone to the CSA, and it is fucking crazy. I went to court with this guy and they were gonna put him in jail. They were gonna take his passport away from
Yeah,
him. They were gonna
yeah,
do the most just because. Do you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's actually crazy. And then you got men out there who don't pay for their kids and they just say, no, we ain't doing it. But sometimes I do see why men do that. I do see why they do it because women are volatile. They're rotten sometimes, and there's no care there. And the thing is, one thing I always say is, your child is always going to remember the part you played in the bullshit, always. And children grow up and they become emotionally intelligent and they become aware of what's going on. So you got to be very careful when you're being a mother and you're using the child as a weapon. I always say that to women. Chloe said, what happened to everyone wanting equal rights? Yeah. Yeah, they're still back 100 years ago, where it's divided. A lot of mums use their kids as weapons. Yes, they do.
yeah.
They very
See it
much do.
everywhere. See it everywhere. It's a control thing.
Mm-hmm. And it's weird, man. I've never quite understood it myself. I don't know. And then there's me. I just think I mind my own business. Just raise your kids and do your thing in it. But yeah, it's so. I love having these type of conversations where you get to sit down with. I love sitting down with men and actually hearing their perspective and finding out what their emotional triggers and the things that they do to try and work through the bad days. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's what I'm going to ask you is, do you have? I always ask all my guests to give some little words of wisdom to anyone out there. It can be it can be in regards to anything, but as we're talking about men's mental health, and it is June, it is Men's Mental Health Month. And do you have any words of wisdom for any men out there who may be struggling?
Fuck. Wisdom. Wisdom. You sure you're asking the right
Wisdom.
motherfucker?
No, I
Um,
am because yeah, man, because you've been through it, innit? So you need to give some words of advice. Anthony's just thinking, shit, I shouldn't have messaged the girl.
yeah. No, yeah. I mean, yo, I've
No.
been on that for 2 months. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. So. I can only speak on my fucking like my situation. So if she's the one, show her, because otherwise you're gonna end up fucking missing her for every fucking day for the rest of your life.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna say. Like, because if you have that person there and you're smiling and you're happy and like, do you get me? It feels like everything is calm. Like, I'll tell you, like, a real scenario now. I had a no show the one day and she was in the shop with me.
Okay.
And like I was stressed out because obviously if people don't show up, I don't get money.
Yeah.
And we went for a walk, and I was fucking agitated. She
Okay.
held my hand, the whole world stopped moving,
Oh,
and
oh,
I
that's beautiful.
completely calmed down, and like it was wild, absolutely fucking wild.
Love makes
So
a
yeah,
difference, though.
yeah. If you're in a situation where you have what you want in life, you have to you know reevaluate the way you deal with things. Is probably the best thing I can say.
Okay.
If like don't resort to default settings, find you know the thing that works for the both of you and fucking ride it through. Do you get me?
I think that's
Yeah, don't be afraid to talk. That's what it is. Like that's what have killed me.
it's that. It's the being able to talk and the being able to be open. And I think, what I would say is that big up Chloe. Chloe said this is the realest podcast I've ever watched. That's, what, I really appreciate that, because I do want my discussions to be real. I don't do all the
Yeah,
I
this
just
is why
can't
I
do
want
it.
to do it.
Yeah, it makes me sick. It actually does my head in. I like to be real, and 9 times out of 10, this is why I haven't got the head for it. But I want my words of wisdom to people. If you have something that is so beautiful, love is a beautiful thing, yeah. But people speak about love as just a
Yeah,
word in it, but it's actually a thing. It's an act. It's a real emotion, yeah. And I think if you have that, and you have somebody that loves you, because you know when you're loved, because you feel it, if you have somebody that loves you, that looks out for you, that cares for you, that nurtures you, that brings you peace and gives you like that, those healing, love has healing properties. Don't take advantage of it. Don't take it for granted, because we do, as human beings, we lose sight of so many things. We don't see what's right there in front of us, innit? And you can lose something so great. And this is not even in regards to the conversation we've had about your situation. I've just come to realize is that people take love for granted. They really do.
yeah.
And it's not something.
I'm one of them. Like you get me, and I'm sat here now, and I'm fucking gutted because
I
of it.
mean, I don't think you took it for granted. You did things out of from a place of fear and worry. Do you know what I'm saying? And what you did wasn't bad. I wouldn't say it was a bad thing. So I would say stop judging yourself on that. Yes, you could have gone about things a different way, but you didn't do anything that was majorly detrimental to your relationship. It was just how it was received. But I think if you have love and it's present, just don't take it for granted, man. Because I see a lot of people don't, they love to throw out the word love, 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 yeah. And, we care about our men and we this, that, and the other. No, 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 it's just words. When put it into action, be a friend, be an ear, be that person that a man can turn to, whether it's platonic or whether it's your partner. Just leave a free, open space, yeah, for them to be able to come and speak to you, because it's very, very important. And I've noticed that, especially as we get older, the strain and the stresses that are put on a man's shoulders is rough. It is rough, especially the world we live in. Look at the way of the world. It's absolutely disgusting. So, yeah, man, you just got to try and let's just be easy, innit? Let's just everything be more calm. Chloe says, if you find your calm in the storm, hold on to it so it doesn't go with the storm. See that? I actually love Chloe,
And she's an
Chloe's been
old
a
soul.
vibe.
She's younger than us, but she's an old soul,
But
bless her.
do you know what? You can tell she's an old soul. She's been a vibe throughout this life. And, thank you to everyone who's joined. And I just want to wish you the best of luck. Like, I'm not going to phone you now when I get off here. But I just want to wish you the best of luck within your journey. And there's someone out there for everyone, in it. And we have to go through the motions sometimes. And I would just say to you, don't allow your situations, like any situations that you go through that might hurt you, don't allow it to change you. Because you're a very loving person. Do you get me? You're a lover boy, 90s R&B. We know you love Jagged Edge. That's why you have to you fling the Jagged Edge
Yeah,
on the promo.
yeah,
You know what I'm
I'm a Daily
saying?
fan all day.
Yeah, man. And just don't let it change you though. Don't
No,
let it
like
harden you.
obviously like the thing will be like letting my guard down again because obviously like I've been hurt by the situation because of obviously what have happened. I wasn't hurt by her. I caused my own pain. Um,
Mm.
like that's the thing. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, if it feels right, I'll know. But if it don't, like, then I just I don't know. Like I don't know. Like it's just take every day as it comes, innit? See what
And
happens.
see what happens, and we'll push through, man. But don't worry, I'm always on the end of the phone, and you've got people who love and care about you. So don't stress. And when you're having your egotistical days and you want to go live and know you're super fly and all them ones, and you're good. Do you know what I mean? The
Yeah,
good days will be the good days, the bad days will be the bad days, but don't ever lose sight of who you are and the journey that you're on. Everything happens for a reason. I always say that. And it's to teach us something. And if you don't learn something from it, then what are we really doing? What are
exactly.
we really doing?
I
But
mean,
yeah,
I should have learned my lesson by now, but fuck me. Well, maybe one
no,
day.
no, no. You're not. No, 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 no. I think you were built different. You were born in the 80s. You're meant to go through it. We've been through it. It's hard. It's very, very hard. But yeah, man. But yeah, thank you to everyone who's joined the live. I'll be back next week with another guest. But yeah, just hope you've enjoyed this episode, just highlighting men's mental health and stuff. Please catch up on the previous episodes that I've put up. But yeah, we'll be back. We're doing some studio work in the backgrounds and stuff at the minute. And I'm definitely I'm gonna have to come into the shop and do a whole a day review in there because I think that will be. And we've got a couple of projects coming up as well, which is something I need to come and speak to you about as well.
Alright.
Definitely think I'm going to come and speak to you about that. But yes, guys, all I can say is keep going, keep pushing, keep shining as we do. And yes, trust the process and hold the vision. And I'll be back next week. So take care, guys.
Cheers.
Bye. Ta-ra, love.